Park for tonight's contest between the Doniphan Donettes and the Willow Springs Bears. Doniphan is a proud member of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, and we remind all spectators that this game is competitive, but is also an educational experience for all players and students. Let's continue to show respect and sportsmanship throughout the contest and refrain from negative cheers, chants, or behavior. We welcome our Willow Springs School, and we wish all players good luck to tonight's game. Now let's start with the starting lineup. Willow Springs will be the home team this evening. Willow Springs starting lineup.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Class 2 District 2 softball championship game between the Doniphan Donettes and the Willow Springs Lady Bears. We are having the introductions of all the players right now, and we're getting set for action here in a few short minutes. I'm Keith Bowen, and I'll be here to bring you the play-by-play. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching us on YouTube on the Current River Broadcasting, and looking forward to an exciting game here. These two teams got to this spot with wins last night. Willow Springs, the #1 seed, won 8-0 over Alton, and Doniphan in an exciting game with the #2 seed, won 8-5 over East Carter, the #3 seed. We're going to let them introduce the reserves, and we'll give you the starters as they come out for both teams, and they will be in the order of their lineup. And the Donettes are coached by Brad Ennington. I've known Brad for quite some time, and he has done a fantastic job getting the softball program built up here at Doniphan. And he did it in a pretty short time as well. Willow Springs will be the home team. They're the higher seed. So the Donettes will bat first. And we're just about ready to give you their starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you stand and face our
We're going to have the national anthem, and then we'll do the starters.
For the playing of the national anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and against the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, folks, the starters for the Donettes, coached by Brad Eddington. Leading off will be Timberly Mashing. She'll be playing first base. Batting #2, Lexi Day, and she's behind the plate catching. Paige Eddington, the shortstop, will bat third. Batting cleanup and pitching for the Donettes, Kaylee Davis. Playing second base, hitting fifth, Madison Eddington. And in left field, batting 6th, Audrey Holland. Playing third base, batting number 7 is Hannah Ponder. Carly Harder bats 8th and plays right field, and Jalen Dutton rounds out the starting 9, and she plays center field, and she'll hit 9th for the Donettes. For the Willow Springs Bears, their pitcher, Sydney Miller, will bat first, and Krista Rader, the center fielder, bats number 2. Emily Scarborough, playing second base, bats 3rd. Emily Fair, the catcher, will bat cleanup, batting 5th, the first baseman, Bella Melvin. And at shortstop, hitting 5th. I'll get it right here in a minute. She's hitting 6th, Caitlin Woody. Courtney Melvin is playing third base, and she hits 7th. And Grace Mengi, the designated player, hits 8th, and Alexa Frederick rounds out the starting 9, and she will bat 9th. Madison Porter will be playing right field, but she will be hit for by Grace Mengi as the designated player. Now in the field defensively, and from left to right in center, outfield, Alexa Frederick, Krista Rader, and Madison Porter. Third base, Courtney Melvin, Caitlin Woody. At shortstop, Emily Scarborough. Second base, Bella Melvin at first, Emily Fair catching, and Sydney Miller on the mound. Coach Eddington told me that their pitcher was pretty good, but he said he thought if they played well, he said they had a good chance of winning the game. And I didn't ask anybody, but I think this might be the first championship, if the Donettes can claim it, that they've ever had in softball. They haven't had softball too awful many years. So we're ready to get underway here in this Class 2 District 2 championship game here at Quick Creek Park in Doniphan, Missouri. And the first pitch from Miller to Timberly Mashing. And she swings and hits a fly ball down the left field line, and it's going to be a foul. It's a little bit out in front of that pitch. So it's no balls and 1 strike here to the first hitter, Timberly Mashing. And she went up there hacking, didn't waste any time. Looks down to Coach Eddington for signs, gets back in the box. And with a no ball, 1 strike count, Miller winds and fires. And this pitch on the outside corner. Nope, he called that outside. This umpire, I forgot, he calls his balls even really loud like he's calling strikes, so it's 1-1. That didn't miss by much. Mashing digs back in. Miller gets the sign from her catcher, Emily Fair, and a pitch on the way. And a low strike there called to Mashing. So she's in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. You got to protect the plate now. Got to put the bat on the ball here and see if she can get on. Miller's 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss, and that pitch on the inside part of the plate, and it tied up Mashing, and that is the first out. And she goes down on strikes, and that'll bring up Lexi Day, the catcher for the Donettes.
Come on, Lexi, you got it, girl.
So Miller gets the first out on a strikeout, a swinging strikeout. Lexi Day steps in, batting from the right side, and she swings and misses the first pitch on a high fastball. And doesn't look like Miller's throwing overly hard here, but I'm sure the girls are nervous probably on both teams right now. Willow Springs had a long trip down here. And the next pitch is on the outside corner, so quickly in the hole. 0-2 is Lexi Day. That ball painted the outside corner. So she's thrown 5 pitches so far. 4 of them have been strikes. 0-2 pitch today, and that one's up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the first inning. This is the Class 2 District 2 championship game here at Doniphan. And a new field here, Quick Creek Park. And it is the first time I've been here. It's really nice. And there's a little pop-up towards third. It's going to hit the ground, and Day's got a chance of beating it out, and she does. The third baseman couldn't get to it in the air, so the shortstop had to field it on 1 hop, and Day got down the line in a hurry. That'll be an infield single. The first baseman dropped the ball anyway, but I think she had it beat anyway. So I'm going to give her a single on that. So that brings up Paige Eddington. Eddington had a home run last night against East Carter to pad the lead late in the game. And the first pitch is outside for a ball. Last night East Carter didn't give her anything to hit the first 3 times up. They walked her. And then the fourth time, nobody on base, they pitched her and she made them pay. And this pitch is outside and Day gets caught in between and she's gonna throw down to second base. Fair throws it to second and Day alertly gets back to first base. So Eddington in the driver's seat here with a 2-0 count. She can look for one to drive here. Ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out, runner on first. And this pitch catches the outside corner. That pitcher's pitch on 2-0 there. Lexi Day on at first. 1 out, top of the first inning. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. And that one's low and away. And again, Eddington in a good hitter's count at 3-1. See if they give her anything to hit here. Kaylee Davis is waiting on deck. And ball 4 as she draws a walk. Well, the Donettes got something going here early. And that'll bring up Kaylee Davis, the pitcher. And Madison Eddington will be waiting on deck. First and second, 1 out. Davis with a chance to help herself as she's the pitcher for the Donettes. Miller gets a sign in the line, and there's a line drive right to the third baseman and throws back to second, and she overthrows it. And the ball's going to go into right field, and Day's going to advance to third, and they get the ball back in before she can come around to score. So that was a line out to third for the second out, and then the third baseman made an error to allow Day and Eddington to move up to second and third. She had Day out if she would have made a good throw, I believe. So it's going to be left up to Madison Eddington with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Miller winds, fires, and the pitch is up high. If Eddington can reach, Audrey Holland, the left fielder, waits on deck. Sydney Miller winds and fires, and a good cut by Madison Eddington. She fouls it back to the screen. She was right on that pitch. That evens it at 1-1. Donettes need a big 2-out hit here to take the lead in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch is low. And they do have first base open here. There is 2 outs, so most likely she's going to pitch to her. 2-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss by Eddington. That one might have been a little bit up out of the strike zone. This umpire calls a little bit lower strike, and he does a high one, but now she's got to guard the plate. Got to put the bat on the ball. Boy, there's a big hole up the middle. And the pitch is a called third strike on the inside corner. And that will end the threat there for the Donettes, and they don't get any runs in the first inning. They get a couple runners on. They have 1 base hit, and there's 1 error, and no runs. And we've played a half inning, and the Donettes are tied here as Willow Springs is coming up for their first at bat. So no runs on 1 hit. They had 1 error, and the Donettes leave 2 on base. So they had an early chance there to score and couldn't get them in. And Donettes will take the field now. And defensively, they will have Audrey Holland in left, Jalen Dutton in center, Carly Harder in right, Hannah Ponder at third base, Paige Eddington at short, Madison Eddington at second, Timberly Mashing at first, Lexi Day does the catching, and Kaylee Davis on the mound. The Willow Springs' first 3 hitters will be the pitcher, Sydney Miller, center fielder, Krista Rader, and Emily Scarborough, the second baseman. I said Willow Springs, I was not here, but I heard they won their game fairly easily yesterday over Alton, 8-0. Donettes had a little tougher task. They had to come from behind, but they ended up scoring late in the game and took I think it was a 7-5 lead, and then Paige Eddington added a home run. I think it was in the bottom of the 6th to make it an 8-5 score, and they held East Carter off, and that's how they got this championship game. This is a Class 2, District 2 championship, and the throw goes down to second, and we're just about ready for Sydney Miller to step up And she throws right-handed, but as a lot of girls do in slow pitch and fast pitch softball, a lot of them bat left-handed. They like to slap that ball to the left side if they can run a little bit. And she's going to hit from the left side. Looks like the next batter, Krista Rader, the center fielder, is also going to hit left-handed. So Paige Eddington and Hannah Ponder are going to have to be alert and probably get a lot of balls hit to that left side from the left-handed batters if they go like you would think they would. So Davis gets the sign, and her first pitch is a strike call. And Davis jumps out in front, no balls and 1 strike. Miller steps back in. Next pitch, and she swings and misses. So quickly ahead 0-2 is Davis, and she did run up on that like she was trying to slap it towards third base or shortstop. Paige Eddington playing really deep at short. She does have a cannon arm, but if they get it by the pitcher, she's going to have to. Now she comes in a little bit. And the 0-2 pitch just off the plate, but that's a good pitch. Trying to make her go fishing a little bit. She didn't bite, but 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter for Willow Springs. And the pitch, and it's a grounded shoulder to third, and off the glove of Ponder, and it gets by. And Madison Eddington runs it down, so that's what I was just talking about. I don't know if she could have thrown her out anyway if she would have fielded it, because she was running crossway. She'd had to throw across her body. So Miller reaches, and that will bring in Krista Rader, another left-handed batter, the center fielder. Davis winds, pitches a ball a little bit outside. Donette's had a chance to score in the first, couldn't get the big hit. Now we'll see what Willow Springs does here with a runner on first and nobody out. And the next pitch is up and in, so falling behind on this hitter, Davis, after getting ahead on the first hitter. 2 balls and no strikes. Rader wears number 9 on that maroon uniform top, and she swings and misses a 2-0 pitch. And she was not trying to slap it. She was trying to hit that ball a long ways. Two balls, 1 strike. Miller, the runner at first for Willow Springs. 2-1 pitch is fouled straight back over the screen. And that gets Davis back in the count at 2-2. This really is a nice ballpark that they have set up here for the girls to play on. And the 2-2 pitch on the way from Davis. And it's popped up again back just over the screen. And the count remains 2-2. Sydney Miller reached on an infield scratch hit there to lead off the game. And she's over at first. 2-2 count on the number 2 hitter, Rader. And the pitch low and outside. And that runs it to a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Miller hadn't shown any inclination to run over there at first base yet. And the 3-2 pitch is in the dirt, ball 4, so the first 2 have reached for Willow Springs. I was hoping the Donette's could get a lead there in the first inning. Now with their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up, nobody out. Donette's had runners on first and second with 1 out, and then second and third with 2 outs. But now Willow Springs has actually got a little better chance here. So Davis is going to have to go to work here. Emily Scarborough, the second baseman, is hitting with runners on first and second. The pitch in the dirt, nice stop by Lexi Day. She dug it out of the dirt. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. So after getting ahead of the first hitter, a 1 ball and 2 strikes, Davis has had a little bit of trouble getting the ball over the plate consistently. And the pitch in the dirt again, and there's nobody on third. And they take off as the batter faked the bunt. And that's the oldest play in slow pitch and fast pitch softball. As the third baseman comes in and the runners take off. And Eddington got there, but the throw was a little bit high. I don't think they could have got her anyway. So that's 2 balls in a row that Davis has thrown in the dirt. Now Coach Eddington's going to go out and have a chat with her. And she's going to have to do some pitching to get out of this with second and third and nobody out. And they've got Scarborough at the plate, and she's got a 2-0 count. And then Emily Fair, the catcher, on deck, and Bella Melvin. So that's their next 3 hitters they've got coming up. So it's Miller at third, Rader at second, nobody out, and a 2-0 count on the number 3 hitter, Emily Scarborough. Davis is going to have to dig down deep here and hope that if they hit it at somebody, preferably back to her, first or third, where the infield is in. And the ball in the dirt again. The same 3 spots on all 3 of those pitches to Scarborough. And she goes back behind the mound, gets a little dirt on her hand. Hopefully that'll help because she's behind 3-0. The batter taking all the way here. And it's ball 4. And Willow Springs has got the bases loaded and nobody out. And their catcher, Emily Fair, steps to the plate. One thing that does give a force at home plate now. So if the infield plays in, they might be able to get a force at the plate here on the ground ball to the infield, and they are pulling in. First pitch, ball. That's 5 balls in a row. The batter, Fair, there, squared around the bunt, and she just done that to take it. She's going to probably take it until she gets a strike because Davis is struggling to get the ball over the plate right now. And pitch, and it's up and high again. That one was a little closer, but I don't know. I'll be surprised if she swings here. She might be looking for one right down the middle. Davis has got to throw a strike. She's got no place to put her. And it's ball 3, a little bit high. And she is in danger of walking in the first run of the game here. Still nobody out from Willow Springs. Bases loaded, 3-0 on the cleanup hitter. And the pitch is a strike. Finally, she got one there. And that one was kind of borderline. Now the hitter will be swinging. Hopefully she'll hit one straight to one of the infielders and they can come home and at least get one out here. And there's a fly ball in the right center field, and it's going to get by Dutton. She's going to get it on one hop, and the throw into second base is not in time. And Willow Springs is going to get on the board, 2 runs on a 2 RBI double for Emily Fair. And Willow Springs breaks on top, and they still have runners on second and third, and nobody out.
Deep breath, relax.
And that will bring up the first baseman, Bella Melvin, the first baseman, another lefty. And they're going to bring in a courtesy runner for Willow Springs, number 13, Katie Rothermich will pinch, courtesy run for the pitcher, for the catcher. So Willow Springs was able to do here in the first inning what Doniphan wasn't, and that was get a big hit. Even though they had nobody out, and the Donettes had to get one with 2, and makes it a little tougher. And Melvin digs in. First pitch is a strike call. This time she gets ahead of the hitter, and that makes it a lot easier to deal with. Now, we got Scarborough on third and Fair on second, and the infield at second and short playing back a little bit, but they'll probably sneak in on the pitch here to get a little better chance of throwing it out the plate. There's a ground ball to the pitcher. Looks the runner back, goes to first, gets the out. That was a big out there. Nice play by Kaylee Davis, and that holds the runners. The ball was hit pretty hard on one hop. But she did it perfectly, looking the runner back and then throwing to first. And that brings in the shortstop, Caitlin Woody, right-handed batter. Still the same situation, second and third now with 1 out. And the first pitch is a strike called. So after walking one hitter on 4 straight and then getting behind 3-0 on the next hitter, the last 2 batters she's jumped out in front of. And it's 0-1, and the pitch is a swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Now this is where she got to try to make her go fishing a little bit for one. Don't throw one straight down the middle. Maybe see if she'll go fishing and maybe she can get a strikeout. Blown away. That's a good pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caitlin Woody, the shortstop. Scarborough on third, Fair on second, or excuse me, Rothermich, the courtesy runner, on second. And there's a ground ball foul, the hitter in the batter's box, I think. So count will stay 1 ball, 2 strikes. Willow Springs has jumped out on top here, 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. This is the Class 2 District 2 championship game. Girls softball. The winner moves on to the state tournament. And I didn't even ask anybody, but it will be sometime next week. Davis's pitch is popped up to third base, and Hannah Ponder makes the catch. So 2 big outs there with runners on second and third. Now if they can just get the third one. That third one's always the hardest one to get. And now the batter is Courtney Melvin, the third baseman. She can get out of this with 2 runs, only giving up 2 runs. She'll have done a great job. And the pitch, ooh, just inside. Just missed off the inside corner. 1 ball, no strikes to Courtney Melvin. Next one, oh, it hits her. That's going to load the bases. And I don't know, umpires are maybe asking if she didn't try to get out of the way. I don't know. So they've got the bases loaded, 2 outs. And Grace Mingy, the designated player, she's hitting for the right fielder, Madison Porter. And she steps in, 2 outs, bases loaded. Just need 1 out. Foul ball right back to the screen. And again, she jumps ahead of the hitter. The last hitter, she fell behind 1-0, and then she hit her. But the hitter she's gotten ahead of, except for the first hitter of the game, she has been able to get out. Davis winds, fires. Just off the inside corner again. Don't want to get in there too far. Hit by pitch now will drive in a run. Bases full, 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Mingy. And that one misses just off the outside corner. No place to put her. This is a big pitch right here because you don't want to go 3-1 because the hitter can look for one right down the middle. At least you still got a little bit of a bluff in on her on 2-1. And this one is lined over the third baseman's head. And 2 runs are going to score just over the outreach hand of Ponder. And Mingy drives in 2 runs with a single to left field. And that's the bad thing about fast pitch softball. You have to play in to guard against the bunt. And if she'd have been playing back, that would have been a line drive right to her. Just barely missed catching it anyway. So they add 2 more, and they have batted around here. They have Alexa Frederick batting now, and she swings and misses. She is the number 9 hitter. And they still have runners on first and second. Courtney Melvin at second, and Mingy at first. And the Donettes need to get out of this and get up here and get back to batting. And there's a swing and a miss. Those 2 pitches, Davis looked like she pumped up and threw them a little harder there. She got a little more on those. And Frederick, left-handed batter, no balls and 2 strikes on her. 0-2 pitch is grounded slowly to Eddington. Eddington over to first base just in time to get the out as Frederick quickly got down the line. So Willow Springs bats around in the first inning and they get 4 runs. And they had 1, 2, 3 base hits. The Donettes didn't make any errors, and they left 2 people on base. So after the 1 inning here in the Class 2 District 2 championship game, the Willow Springs Bears lead the Donettes 4-0. So the Donettes got to get to work now. They didn't do much in that first inning, even though they did have a chance to score, but there was 2 outs when they got the runners in scoring position. And they will bat here in the second inning, trailing 4-0. Donettes had one hit in the first inning, left runners on second and third as Madison Eddington struck out to end the inning and left 2 runners on. So the Donettes will send up Audrey Holland, Hannah Ponder, and Carly Harder. Anybody gets on, Jalen Dutton. Willow Springs bats around in that first inning. Had a little bit of everything, except Donettes did not commit an error. And Willow Springs had 3 hits, and there was 1 walk, a 1-hit batter, and 3 hits to account for the 4 runs that they put on the board in the bottom of the first. So Miller goes back to the mound, and she's got a 4-0 lead, and she started that rally with a infield single in the first inning. So Donettes will see what they can do here in the second inning. Need some base runners. Audrey Holland, left fielder, up first for the Donettes. Right-handed batter, Holland steps in and swings and misses the first pitch. Swung at a high inside fastball there. I think that would have been a ball. That's one thing they need to be patient here because they need base runners, not be swinging the balls out of the zone. And there's a bunt attempt, and it goes foul. So no balls and 2 strikes. If she'd have got that in third baseline, she probably could have beat it out. Third baseman was playing back a little farther. Now she comes in a little bit. But with 2 strikes, probably not much danger for bunting now, because if you bunt it foul, it's a strikeout. And a swing and a miss, and boy, Miller had some smoke on that pitch. And that is her 3rd strikeout already in inning and a third. And that brings up Hannah Ponder. Well, she'd have been 2 inches taller while going that last hit that Willow Springs got. She'd have caught that line drive. And the first pitch is fouled back, and Miller's gone out there throwing strikes. That's 4 pitches this inning, and all 4 have been strikes. That's one thing about it, when you get a 4-0 lead, you can kind of relax and just throw the ball over the middle of the plate. And said, here it is, if you can hit it, hit it. And hopefully you'll hit it at somebody. That pitch low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on for the Donettes here in the top of the second inning. One pitch, line drive over the pitcher's head. If she it's going to get through into center field, as the shortstop could not get it. I don't believe they'd have thrown her out anyway, so base hit for Hannah Ponder. That will bring in Carly Harder, the right fielder, with that runner on first base, and 1 out. Jalen Dutton waiting on deck. And if we can get back past them, it'll be back to the top of the order. Carly Harder steps in, and the first pitch is a strike. It looks like to me pretty much everything that Miller's thrown is just fastball. Now they may be a drop or a rise ball, but they're pretty much all the same, it looks like. And a bunt attempt almost hit her. She could have pulled the bat back. It would have been better on that one, but she couldn't get it back in time, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. One out. Hannah Ponder at first base. And the pitch is a swing and a miss. And again, up high pitch there that they chased. And that is the 4th strikeout out of 5 outs for the Donettes. Got to make them throw strikes. Well, when you get no balls and 2 strikes, though, you got to guard that plate, and it's real easy to swing it one out of the zone. That's what happened to Carly Harder. Dutton swings and misses. Miller throwing strikes here in the second inning. She did walk Paige Eddington in the first inning, but I don't think that she cared too much that she walked Paige. There's a bunt down the third baseline. Pitcher gets it, feels it, and throws. No, she's safe. And going to third base, and what a bad break. Umpire got the ball, hit the umpire, or Ponder would have been able to score. And there's a bunt base hit for Jalen Dutton, and she ends up at second base on the throw to third. And there's another error That was on the third baseman. Yeah, that cost the Donettes a run. The umpire getting hit with the ball. That ball would have went to the screen. So again, second and third with 2 outs. Same thing as in the first inning. And it's Timberly Mashing, and she struck out her first time. And the first pitch is ground ball past the third baseman. Shortstop fields it, throws to first, safe, and a run scores. Another infield hit for the Donettes, and the Donettes are on the board. And that shortstop made a nice play there, but she couldn't get it over there in time. And the Donettes have got one in, and runners on first and third with 2 outs. And we'll see if Coach Eddington wants to send Mashing to get her in scoring position. A lot of times in fast pitch softball, they won't throw that ball through. They'll just let the runner go. Lexi Day up, and she singled her first time up. Made it over to third and was stranded in the first inning. So the Donettes make it 4-1. And Day digs in. First pitch is up high. And Mashing doesn't go anywhere. She stays at first base. Day looks down to Coach Eddington, gets the signs here. And the scoreboard operator is going nuts. We're in the 88th inning. A 1-0 pitch coming to Lexi Day. And it's low and inside. And Mashing is going to steal second, and they don't throw down. Now Lexi Day in a good hitter's count at 2-0 with Paige Eddington on deck. Well, she could get on here if they'd walk her. They'd almost have to pitch the Paige in because she'd be up. They wouldn't have any place to put her. And that 2-0 pitch is a strike. I got a feeling Day's going to have to hit the ball to get on here. Because if the pitcher Miller looks over on deck and sees Paige Eddington over there, she's going to know she needs to throw strikes here to Lexi Day. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch. There's popped up to shortstop, and she got it. Line drive, got jammed a little bit and lined out to short. So the Donettes do get one in the second inning here. They score 1 run on 3 base hits. There was an error in there, and they leave 2 runners on. So the Donettes have left 4 runners on the first 2 innings. Hopefully they won't come back to haunt them. And it's 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the second inning in favor of the Willow Springs Lady Bears. And they're going to have the top of the lineup up as they batted around in the first inning. Donettes, maybe they'll settle down a little bit now. They got a run on the board, even though they're still down 4-1. Still got 5 innings to play with. Sydney Miller, the pitcher, will be leading off, and she led off the game with a slow ground ball headed towards shortstop, and the third baseman, Hannah Ponder, couldn't get there to cut it off. She was the only one that had a chance to throw her out, and she just couldn't quite get there, and by the time it got to Paige Eddington, the runner Miller had done cross first base. So an infield hit started their rally in the first inning, and actually the Donettes got as many hits in that second inning as Willow Springs did in the first inning, but only managed 1 run. Miller didn't walk anybody or didn't hit anybody. She made the Donettes hit the ball to get on. That last out by Lexi Davis, she hit that ball on the ground. Their shortstop is not, didn't look like she was too mobile there. If she'd hit it on the ground and Day can fly, she might have been able to get there, but she got jammed a little bit and got it up in the air. So Davis will go back to the mound, try to have a better inning this inning than she did in the first.
I gave blessings on keeping score, man. I never gave blessings on that. I see where I messed up at.
Bottom of the second inning, and they sent 9 batters to the plate in the first inning. They did leave 2 on. Donettes have left 2 on in each of the first 2 innings, so they've had a chance. Haven't been able to get the big hit yet. So Sydney Miller wears number 19, the pitcher. As I said, throws right, bats left. She digs in against Kaylee Davis. And the first pitch is up and in. In the first inning, when Davis got ahead of the hitters, she had a lot more success than when she fell behind. And that's true in just about any kind of baseball or softball. And she falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes. She steps back off the mound, takes a deep breath, steps back on with a 2-0 count, and throws a strike. 2-1 to the leadoff hitter, Sydney Miller. 2-1 pitch is up and in. All 3 of them who missed have been just about in the same spot, up and in to the left-handed batter. And 3-2 is that pitch right down the middle. Davis got to come all the way back here, at least make her hit her way on. Don't want no free passes. 2 pitch to Miller. Ground ball is short. Eddington picks it up, throws to first, and she is out. Boy, Paige has got a cannon. So there. And she does a nice job and throws her out. If she didn't have a cannon on that right arm, that girl would have beat that out. That will bring up Krista Rader. She walked in the first inning, and she also scored. First 4 batters in their lineup all scored back in the first inning. And Rader pops it up down the first baseline, foul out of play. Well, Davis gets in front, gets ahead 0-1 on this hitter. No balls and 1 strike. Nobody on here in the second inning. Willow Springs with a 4-1 lead in the championship game of the Class 2 District 2 tournament. Donettes playing the game here on their home field. Raiders step back in from the left side. Davis's pitch just missed on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. She went to a full count on Miller and got her to ground out. And there's one right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Raider was bending back a little bit on that one. The Raider stepped back in. And the pitch, the line drive to right field. And they got a chance to throw her out at first, but the throw's a little late. The Raider lined that one out hard out to right field for a hit. And that brings in Emily Scarborough. She walked in the first inning as well. They had a single, a walk, a double, drove in 2 runs. And then they got 2 outs, and then a hit pitch and a single, and scored 2 more before Davis got the final out. First pitch is grounded back to the pitcher. Throws to second to Eddington, the first. Oh! She had an easy double play, but when she went to throw, the ball slipped out of her hand. But the out is good at second base because she was transferring the ball to her glove. And that was kind of a shame because she definitely had her out by long ways. But that is the second out. And that brings up Emily Fair, and she's the one that got the double to right center to drive in the first 2 runs. And it was on a 3-1 pitch that she hit that double, so Davis needs to get ahead. And there's a fly ball to left field. Going over in left field is Audrey Holland, and she makes the catch. And a pretty quick inning that time for the Donettes, as Davis does a nice job that inning. And they get a runner on a hit, but they strand that runner, so they have no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leave 1 runner on. So they've left 3 on through 2 innings. And after 2 innings, 4-1 is our score. Willow Springs on top here in the Class 2 District 2 championship game from Quick Creek Park in Doniphan, Missouri. And let's see, the Donettes will have Paige Eddington leading off here. Eddington, Kaylee Davis, and Madison Eddington will bat here in the second. Let's see if they give Paige anything to hit here. They walked her the first time, not necessarily intentionally, but they didn't really give her anything to hit. And you would think with a 4-1 lead and nobody on base, and the leadoff hitter, they wouldn't walk her because that would might set a team up for a big inning. So we'll see. Wish Paige could have got up there last inning with some runners on base. She walked and was stranded at second base. And Paige wears number 3 on her uniform back. Donette's wearing black pants and black jerseys with gold numbers, white trim. It says Donette's on the back up near the top, where a lot of times teams have their players' names. Willow Springs with maroon tops and white pants. And Paige steps in against Sydney Miller. First pitch is outside. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Paige Eddington leading off for the Donettes. They trail 4-1. And Miller's next pitch, low and outside. I just noticed something. All of the infielders and the pitchers are wearing the mask, and it's got to where a lot of the players do wear the mask anymore in fast pitch softball. 2-0 pitch is ball 3 outside. Well, if they don't pitch to her, maybe that'll lead to a big inning here, because I can't really see him not pitching to her. And Miller has been able to throw strikes the whole game, and she walks her on 4 pitches. So it almost looks like they were doing it intentionally, but don't understand why. And Kaylee Davis is up, and she lined out to third base the first time, and if the third baseman would have made a good throw, it would have been a double play, but she threw it away and ended up runners moving up second and third. Eddington at first base, and the pitch to Davis, a good cut, and she fouls it right back to the screen, right over the umpire's head. And again, she went after a high pitch. That might have been a little bit up, but definitely had a good cut at it. Donette's trying to get a rally going here in the 3rd inning. They trail 4-1. No ball, 1 strike. Kaylee Davis dig back in. Second pitch is a strike. Throw down to second. Eddington stealing. And now the ball gets by the center fielder. And if she would have thrown to third, they might have got her, but the Donettes catch a break. So Eddington ends up at third base. She gets a stolen base and an error, I think. I don't know if that was on the catcher or not, but another error. They've had an error in every inning so far. So Eddington's at third base with nobody out, but 0-2 count on Kaylee Davis. Got to make some contact here. Even if you get these one inning and 1 run at a time in an inning, got to get them in. Can't have that runner at third with nobody out. Got to get her in. Got to choke up and make contact here. She has choked up on the bat, and she pops it up, and hopefully the wind's going to blow it out of play. Nope, it's not. The third baseman drops it. So Davis gets a life there as the third baseman dropped it. And Paige Eddington, a heads-up player. And she had tagged up on that play, and the girl wasn't 15 feet from her. Well, Davis gets a life there as the third baseman drops that ball, and actually that should be another error, but she should have caught that. And gives Davis another chance. Oh! Gets called out on a low strike, and again, this umpire calls low strike, so you got to swing at that pitch. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts. And now Madison Eddington up, and she had a chance in the first inning and struck out, and she got a chance for a reprieve here. Got to get some contact here. Got to get Paige in from third base. 1 out. And Madison, her little sister, I think, is a freshman. And there's a ground ball to second, and that'll do the job. That'll get the run in. And Madison's out of first base, but she gets an RBI, and that makes the score 4-2. Good job by Madison Eddington. It's a second out. So that makes it 4-2. Well, they've cut the lead in half. We're only in the 3rd. 2 outs, and Audrey Holland up, and she tries a bunt, and again, pitch in on her hands. They need to start pulling the bat back on those and taking those. That ball would almost hit her if she hadn't bunted at it. It goes foul. And that puts the pitcher ahead in the count as well. Digs back in. No balls, one strike, and a swing and a miss. Oh and 2. 2 outs, third inning. And a swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Donettes do get one on the board. They get 1 run on no hits and 2 errors. And they leave nobody on base this time. So they get a run, get back in it. They were down 4-2 after 2.5 innings. Willow Springs got all 4 of theirs in the first, and Donettes have got 1 in the second and 1 in the third to chip away. And they'll go back to the field.
Another good inning. Keep her focused. Keep her focused.
And they will be, their number 5 hitter, Bella Melvin, will be up. And she grounded out to the pitcher first time. She'll be followed by Caitlin Woody, who popped out to third, and Courtney Melvin, who was hit by a pitcher first time. So Bella Melvin's 0 for 1, Woody's 0 for 1, and Melvin doesn't have an official plate appearance. Well, I think Davis looked like the last inning she has settled down a little bit. She struggled a little bit in that first inning. And the Donettes got behind 4-0, but they have since then scored a couple and made it 4-2. And a long way to go. Melvin, a left-handed batter. She is the first baseman. She will step in against Kaylee Davis. And looking back here through the first 2 innings, Davis has not had a strikeout so far, but the Donettes have not committed an error either. So they played good defense when balls have been where they could get to them. And Davis made a good play on Melvin the first time up, a ground ball back up the middle. The first pitch is swung on and foul tip back to the screen. And again, Davis gets ahead. And first couple innings when she's got ahead, she's pretty much took care of the batters, but when she hadn't, they've had better success against her. Gets a sign from Lexi Day, winds, and the pitch is popped up, and Paige Eddington backing out into the short left field, and she makes a catch. That's 1 down here in the third. And hopefully Kaylee Davis is settling in here after that shaky first inning. The more outs she gets, the more settled in I think she'll be. Caitlin Woody popped out to third her first time. And she hits a ground ball foul down the third baseline. Hannah Ponder made the play the first time Woody batted. And Woody left a couple of runners on, but she was picked up later on in the inning by Grace Mengy. Oh, and another hit by pitch. This time it's Woody. That'll bring up Melvin, and she was hit by a pitch the first time. So that's the second one that Kaylee Davis is hitting. And Woody kind of walking it off down there. It is an absolutely beautiful day here. A little bit windy. Wind blowing in from right field a little bit. Straight to my face here where I'm located. And the pitch and a pop up to first base. And Timberly Mashing takes it down. Throw one pitch out. Those are always really good. Pitcher eat those up all day long. That's out number 2. And this is Grace Mengy, and she's the one that hit the line drive that just got over Hannah Ponder's head to drive in the 2 runs that they lead by now. Woody at first, 2 outs. And the pitch a little bit high. Willow Springs, the home team. They're the higher seed. They're the 1 seed. The Donette's the 2 seed. And they have 4-2 lead. And this pitch is high. So it seems like every time that Davis misses that first pitch, he has a hard time throwing a strike on the next pitch. She's behind 2-0. They're down at the bottom of the order. You need to make them hit the ball here. I know she got a hit the last time, but and that one's outside, ball 3. Alexa Frederick is on deck. She's the number 9 hitter. And there's a strike. Mengi squared around the bunt, but she was just doing that for show, trying to mess up Davis. And throw a pitch in the same spot, make her hit the ball here. 3-1. And the pitch is popped up. And settling under it, Paige Eddington, and she takes it in. And again, no runs on the board here in the 3rd inning for Willow Springs. They had 3 pop-ups that inning on the infield. And they leave a runner on base, no runs, no hits, and no errors, and 1 left. And now they have left 4 runners through 3 innings. And Kaylee Davis settling in here, and hopefully the Donettes can keep adding a run or 2 each inning here and come all the way back here. They trail 4-2. And they will have the bottom 3 in the order coming up here in the top of the 4th. Hannah Ponder, she singled her first time and scored. She scored the first run for the Donettes. Kaylee Harder is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and Jalen Dutton got a single. And she drove in, no, I'm sorry, Timberly Mashing drove in the first run. Dutton moved the runners up. So that'll be your 3 hitter if anybody gets on. Timberly Mashing. Hope you're enjoying the game here. The Donettes trying to come back here after giving up 4 in the first inning. And make it 4-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. We're at Quick Creek Park, the new park for the Donettes here at Doniphan, just up the hill from the high school. And Sydney Miller back to the mound. She has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts, 2 each inning so far. And Hannah Ponder will step to the plate. Ponder, right-handed batter. And she steps in. The first pitch is a swing and a miss. And again, they're going after that high fastball. They're swinging at a lot of those balls that are just out of the strike zone high. So I'm guessing she's throwing a rise ball. A 1 pitch. And there's the one at the bottom of the strike zone. Maybe out of the, well, maybe not on Ponder. She's not too tall. I thought maybe that might have been a little bit low, but as I said, this umpire calls the low strikes. Normally doesn't call the high ones. That's why they need to let them high ones go. 0-2 pitch, foul back. Ponder does a nice job of spoiling that pitch. She looks down to Coach Eddington. I can see he's telling her that I think he's got it figured out when the ball comes out of Miller's hand if it's going to be a rise ball or not. There's a ground ball to third, and it's foul. And she'll come back to home plate. So 0-2 count, but she's battled and fouled a couple off here to stay at the plate.
Hard, Hannah. Keep working hard, kid.
Hannah Ponder, 0-2 count, leading off the 4th inning for the Donettes. And she pops this one up behind the plate. The catcher's going back near the screen, and the ball hits the screen. So Ponder hanging in there. That's 3 foul balls in a row on 0-2 count. So she's making Miller work this inning. So she'll be up there with an 0-2 count again. And a ground ball to shortstop. Shortstop comes up with it, and high throw to first base. That is Caitlin Woody, but Bella Melvin comes down with it. But that was still a good at bat by Ponder, and she made Miller work for that out. She made her throw 6 pitches in that at bat, and they were all strikes. Now Carly Harder comes up. She struck out her first time up. And that pitch is low. Been very few times in this game that Miller has not thrown a first pitch strike. Most of the time she's been ahead in the count. And ball 2. Donettes could use a walk here, that's for sure. They need a base runner. Jalen Dutton waiting on deck, and she had a base hit her first time up. And after her, the Donettes will be back at the top of the order. 2-0 count on Carly Harder. Sydney Miller's 2-0 pitch is, oh my goodness. I didn't think he was going to call a high strike. That was way up there. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't think he can hit that pitch. And a ground ball back to the pitcher. Nice play by Miller. And she throws to first for out number 2. Ball was sharply hit, but a good play by backhanded stop by Miller. That probably would have went into center field if she hadn't got it. Oh, Jalen Dutton trying to start a 2-out rally. She singled her first time up. Miller's pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1.
Believe it. Believe it. Believe it.
2 outs here in the 4th inning. Donettes trying to get somebody on base. There's a bunt. Third baseman picks it up, throws to first base in time. And Dutton might have squared around just a little bit too early on that one. And a 1-2-3 inning. All 3 balls were hit that inning. That's the first inning that Miller hadn't had any strikeouts, so that might mean she's maybe wearing down just a little bit. And maybe Donettes in the top of the 5th with the top of the lineup up can get something going. So there was 3 ground outs that inning by the Donettes, and down at the bottom of the order as well. So Donettes need to hold them right where they're at. And still got 3 more bats to go. And let's see, we got the number 9 hitter and then the 1-2 hitters coming up for Willow Springs here in the bottom of the 4th. And that will be Alexa Frederick. She grounded to short her first time. And then Sydney Miller, she's 1 out of 2. And Krista Rader is 1 for 1 with a walk. That's the first 3 hitters, and hopefully the only 3 that Kaylee Davis will have to face here in the 4th inning. Frederick grounded out to Paige Eddington her first time and left 2 runners on base in the first inning. In that long first inning for Willow Springs, where they scored all 4 of their runs and sent 9 batters to the plate. And so far in the game, Willow Springs has 4 hits. 4 runs on 4 hits. Donettes have not committed an error. A couple of walks and a couple of hit batters have hurt a little bit by Davis. And a pop foul over the third base dugout by Frederick. And we'll see here what happens here, because I've been saying the whole game, every time Davis gets ahead, she seems to get the batter out. And if she doesn't, she struggles. Frederick, left-handed batter, back in on a 0-1 count. And there's popped up, and again, it's going to go out of play over on the third base side. So Davis quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Davis still has not got a strikeout. But the balls that have been hit at the Donettes, they fielded them flawlessly. And a swing and a miss. There's that first strikeout. Kaylee Davis gets that one. And that will bring up their leadoff hitter, Sydney Miller, the pitchers. She singled and scored in the first inning, had a stolen base as well. And she grounded to Paige Eddington at short in the second inning. Bats with 1 out in the 4th. Our score's 4-2, Willow Springs on top. They got all 4 of those in the first inning. Donette's got one in the second, one in the third. And a foul back to the screen by Miller. Big crowd here at Doniphan. Several folks have made it down from Willow Springs. So a big crowd here for the Donettes today. Next pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. A 1-1 pitch. Yeah, strike 2. That one caught the inside corner. Miller run up to slap there, and if the pitch is inside, it's hard to slap because they're wanting to hit it to the left side, so it needs to be out over the plate. 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Second strikeout in a row after Davis. After I said she didn't have any the whole game, she struck out 2 in a row. She definitely calming down and doing a whole lot better here. So 2 strikeouts in a row to lead off the 4th inning here for Willow Springs, and that brings in Krista Rader. She walked and scored in the 1st inning and singled and was left on in the 2nd. Left-handed batter as well, and a hard hit ball to right field. And they might get her this time at first. Nope, a little bit late again. That's the 2nd time she's hit it out there to Carly Harder, and Harder just hadn't been quite quick enough to get her out of first base. The Raiders hit the ball hard the last 2 times. And that brings up Emily Scarborough. She hit into a fielder's choice. Back to the pitcher, the shorter last time. And a runner going, throw to second. And boy, if that would have been on the base, it was on the shortstop side, she would have been out. But she gets the steal, and now she's in scoring position. Yep, that Paige Eddington done a nice job of saving and going to left field, but Day's throw was just a little bit to the shortstop side of second base. I think that first pitch was, they show a strike to the batter, so big out right here. They got that runner in scoring position. Scarborough, the number 3 hitter, and she takes a strike. 0-2. Davis has got to make sure here that she doesn't just groove one on 0-2. Make her go fishing. Maybe she'll get that 3rd strikeout and strike out the side here. Scarborough walked and scored and then hit into a fielder's choice. 0-2 pitch on the way, and just barely got a piece of it and fouled it back off of Lexi Day's mask. Davis trying to bear down here and get this 3rd out. That runner in scoring position, that would be a big run for Willow Springs to pick up. And their cleanup hitter is waiting on deck. Well, right now would be a good time to stop this inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes, or no balls and 2 strikes, excuse me. And the pitch. Outside.
Good place, good place. Atta girl, Lexi, atta girl.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Emily Scarborough. They have Krista Rader on second base, trying to be a little daring out there, trying to get Day to throw the ball. 1-2 pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss as she went after a high one. And Davis strikes out the side after not getting a strikeout at all in the first 3 innings. She strikes out the side, and they get no runs. They get another base hit and leave that runner on. And we have played 4 innings and the Class 2 District 2 championship game. The Willow Springs Lady Bears lead the Doniphan Donettes 4-2. Donettes have top of the order coming up here in the top of the 5th. So chance to maybe do some damage to get back in the game here. Again, we're at Quick Creek Park at Doniphan. Donettes hosting the Class 2 District 2 tournament. And the winner of this game will move on and I assume they'll probably play the winner of District 1 sometime next week. And I guess I should have found out from Coach Eddington who that was and where it was going to be. If it'll be a home side, no neutral side, so it'll either be at the winner of this side or the winner of that side, one or the other. But right now, the Donettes need to score some runs. So Sydney Miller back to the mound, and as I said, the last inning, the Donettes went down 1-2-3, but they were all balls that were hit, and up at that point, she had 2 strikeouts in each inning. So she might be losing a little bit off of her speed on her pitches. And Timberly Mashing, who has struck out and singled and drove in a run at the plate, leading off the 5th for the Donettes. And she takes the first pitch on the outside corner. All the umpires in the stands here didn't like that call very much. Miller winds and fires. And a bunt down the third baseline. Now the pitcher's going to field it. And she throws it. The second baseman drops the ball. Second baseman covering first dropped it. So the Donettes get a break. That's an error on the second baseman. Throw didn't look like it was that bad. So the leadoff man gets on for the Donettes. And that brings in Lexi Day. Day is singled and hit a soft liner to shortstop. And she left a couple of runners on her last time. She'd probably like to atone for that. Pitch in the dirt, a good stop by the catcher, Emily Fair. 1 ball, no strikes. Donettes down by 2. Top of the 5th inning. Sydney Miller winds. There's a pop up into short center field, and it's going to drop. And it's going to be safe at second base, as Mashing had to wait to see if it was going to drop. And the Donettes have the first 2 runners on, and guess who's coming up with runners on first and second? Paige Eddington, with no place really to put her unless they walk the bases loaded. And if they do that, they got more guts than I would have. So she may get something to hit this time. And she has walked both times and really has only had 1 strike thrown to her in the first 2 at bats. And the first pitch is up high and outside. Mashing reached on an error, and Lexi Day singled. And the Donettes have runners on first and second, and their best hitter at the plate. And the pitch up and away, ball 2. And she has really got to be chomping at the bits to get a pitch to hit. But she has been patient, and both times they walked her, she's took the walk and hustled down to first base. And there's one on the outside corner. That was about a perfect pitch right there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Eddington up, runners on first and second, nobody out, top of the 5th inning. Donettes trailing 4-2. And ball 3, low and outside, as Miller threatens to load the bases for Kaylee Davis with nobody out. Paige chokes up on the bat a couple inches, and the pitch is ball 4. And again, she just drops the bat and hustles down to first base. And I tell you what, Donettes got to make them pay here. Davis got to put the bat on the ball here. We can't have any strikeouts. She struck out, got called out the last time. First time she lined out to third base. She's down talking to Coach Eddington, or Coach Eddington's talking to her. Got a chance to tie the game up here with a base hit maybe. And Kaylee Davis, a chance to help herself. Miller's pitch is outside, ball 1. And sometimes when you throw balls intentionally, you have a hard time getting it back to throw strikes. So Davis got to hit only strikes here. And there it is! Long fly ball! Left center field! It's going to top the fence! Going to take the lead on all 3 runs. Double. has given the Donettes a 5-4 lead. And she hammered that ball to left center field. 3 RBIs for Kaylee Davis. And she's out at second base. Now we're going to have a courtesy runner. We'll have to see who it is. I can't see the number. The numbers are on the back. And the Donettes are going to send up a pinch hitter. No, I'm sorry. That's Madison Eddington. I'm sorry. She has been called out on strikes and grounded out to second and drove in a run. So she's up with a runner on second base. Nobody out. And a strike from Miller. Well, the Donettes have scored 3 here in the 5th inning to take a 5-4 lead, and they still have nobody out and a runner on second base. Madison Eddington trying to move that runner around. And she squares to bunt. And uh-oh, the runner going to third, and she's going to be safe, and it gets by her. And she's going to... That is number 2 for the Donettes, Olivia Kreutz. As the pitcher, the ball hit her leg like it always does when you fast pitch, but it rolled in, and the catcher threw to third and threw it away. And another error. I don't know. I don't think the catcher was at fault on that one either, but that pitch was a ball. So Eddington up there now with nobody on. And the Donettes have scored 4 and have a 6-4 lead now. Eddington trying to get something going again. And the pitch is strike 2-2. Audrey Holland is on deck. Still nobody out. Donettes have done all this. First 4 hitters, and they've all scored. Eddington, ground ball, base hit, past the third baseman. And now it gets by the left fielder, and she's going to end up at second base. And another base hit and another error. This time on the left fielder. Boy, they have really committed the errors. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 errors now in 5 innings. So Eddington makes it a second base after it gets by the left fielder. Hard ground ball past the third baseman for a hit. And now Holland is up, and she has struck out twice and been swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. And she bunts it down the third baseline, and it goes foul. That's a good way to get her eye on the ball, though. A lot of times when batters are struggling, coach will have them bunt. They'll get their eye on the ball. Maybe now she'll. I wouldn't be surprised to see her do it again. They'll try to move Eddington over to third base. Hannah Ponder's on deck. And she swings and misses. And the runner's going to steal third base. Eddington. Again, the third baseman didn't even get back. But Holland has 2 strikes. And Eddington with a stolen base over at third base now with nobody out. That'd be a big run to pick up here and put them up 3. Holland looking for some contact. She's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and she's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from Miller, and a swing and a miss. That's the first out of the inning. Now Hannah Ponder up, and she has a single and a run scored and also grounded out to short. Eddington with good speed at third base. The ground ball to short or third probably will score that run. Ponder takes a strike.
All right, you're ready, kid. Let's go.
No balls, 1 strike. Madison Eddington to third, a bunt, and it's fouled again. Well, the Donettes have not been able to get a bunt down fair so far. And now she's in the hole, and she's got to battle up there and put the bat on the ball. That makes it tough when you bunt after you already got 1 strike and hit it foul. 0-2. And the pitch is too high. That is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Miller with a chance if she can get a strikeout here, maybe get out of the inning without any further damage. Ponder looking to put the ball in play. And she's a nice job. She fouls it out of play. Last time up, she had an 0-2 count and fouled off 3 pitches before she finally grounded out to short. Right now, the Donettes will take a ground ball to short or third. That would most likely score the run. A 1-2 pitch on the way, and it's low, ball 2. The Ponder's had some really good at-bats today. And she's got another one going on right here. 2-2 now. Was 0-2. And ball 3 inside. So she had come from 0-2, battle back to 3-2 now. Madison Eddington over at third base with 1 out. Donettes have scored 4 and taken a 6-4 lead. And the 3-2 pitch, a line drive, base hit up the middle. Another RBI. And the Donettes go up 7-4. And boy, a nice job by Hannah Ponder. And she had battled and battled and battled in the last 2 at-bats. And in the first bat, she had a single. At the 5th run of the inning for the Donettes. And they lead 7-4. Carly Harder with a strikeout and a ground ball back to the pitcher. Hits it out in front of the plate, but it hits her while she's in the batter's box. That's a foul ball. So Ponder at first base after the RBI single. And a foul ball again. And she's quickly holding any hole, no balls and 2 strikes. I think Coach Eddington was wanting catcher's interference there. I think it did hit the catcher's glove, but the bat hits the catcher's glove, the batter gets to go to first base.
Let's go, kid! Come on,
0-2, and strike 3 called. That one was on the inside corner. That was a good pitch there. Well, the Donettes have done this inning what Willow Springs done in the first inning. They've batted around. Dutton, the 9th batter in the inning, and she swings and misses. She has singled and grounded out to third. Donettes with a big inning, 5 runs so far. Ponder at first base and 2 outs. And that pitch outside. Donettes trail 4-2 coming into this inning, and now they lead 7-4 in the top of the 5th. Pitch to Dutton, and she goes upstairs and fouls it back.
Don't you let him punch you out. Come on now. Nobody better. Come on. Nobody better.
Sydney Miller with a 1-2 count on Dutton, and the pitch is right down the middle. And she's called out at 2. So she's back to her strikeout again. She got 3 that struck out the side, but she also gave up 5 runs. Donettes had 4 hits. And there was 2 errors. And they left 1 runner on base. So we have played 4.5 innings. Well, Willow Springs coming to bat now, trailing for the first time today as the Donettes get 5 in the 5th and lead it 7-4 over the Willow Springs Lady Bears here at Quick Creek Park at Doniphan High School in Doniphan, Missouri. A Class 2, District 2 championship game. And the Donettes have taken the lead for the first time today. Fell behind 4-0 early and have scored 7 unanswered runs. And Kaylee Davis has really settled down. She has only had 1 base runner in each of the last 3 innings after giving up 4 runs in the first inning. That was a long inning there, so hopefully she'll be able to get loosened up quickly. And let's see, they are at number 4 in their lineup. Emily Fair, she has doubled in 2 runs and flied out to left field. Good to have her coming up with nobody on base. They got Fair, Melvin, and Woody coming up. Fair's the catcher. Where's number 27? A 7-4 lead for the Donettes. Bottom of the 5th inning. And Fair steps in against Kaylee Davis. And the first pitch is grounded foul down the third baseline. Fair not wasting any time up there. She swings at the first pitch, and that gets Davis out in front. No balls and 1 strike. Bella Melvin waits on deck. She is the first baseman. She's 0 for 2 today. And Fair is 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. Davis's pitch is strike 2 called. The drop ball there by Davis, come over about the knees, and the catcher caught it. It was only about 6-8 inches off the ground. And Davis 0-2 count. Fair, and that pitch is high. I think I could use a Dr. Pepper if they got one. Thank you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fair leading it off here in the 5th for Willow Springs after the Donettes scored 5 in the top of the 5th. And a miss. And Fair took off down the first baseline. Day caught it before it hit the dirt. So that is 4. The last 4 outs are on strikeouts after not having inning in the first 3 innings. So Davis evidently getting stronger as the game goes on, and that has allowed the Donettes to rally and take the lead here in the 5th inning. That brings up Bella Melvin. She is grounded out to the pitcher and popped out to shortstop. Another left-handed batter. Stands in against Kaylee Davis, and the pitch is outside. One ball and no strikes. Melvin steps out. I don't know what she's doing, taking an awful lot of time. Umpire was just getting ready to tell her to get back in, I think. And there's a pop-up over the pitcher's head. Second baseman Eddington bobbles it. And that's going to be a base runner. The 2 Eddington sisters kind of looked at each other. It was right behind the mound. And that's a base runner. Not really sure they would have thrown her out anyway. So I think probably give her a hit on that. And that's the first one for Melvin. She reaches base for the first time. And that brings up Woody. And she has popped out to third, and she's been hit by a pitch. And Lexi Day looks like maybe she might have got some dirt in her eyes, maybe. Sweat or dirt, or maybe both. Looking for a ground ball to Paige Eddington right by second base here would be a good thing. Roll up a double play ball. Runner on first, 1 out. And there's a half swing. Mashing's going to throw to second, and nice play to get the lead runner. And that was a half swing. And Woody's going to get to first base, but a good play by Mashing as she threw it to Paige Eddington to get the second out at second base. I thought she might just take the sure out at first, but there's always danger of hitting the runner because you're just about in line with them. But she made a good throw, and that's 2 outs now. And Woody's on first. And the line drive to third base. Hard hit ball by Courtney Melvin, but right at Hannah Ponder, and she snares it. And that gets the Donettes out of the 5th inning. So again, they get no runs, get 1 hit, and they leave a runner on again. They've left at least 1 runner on every inning, 6 total in the game in 5 innings. And we're headed to the top of the 6th, 2 innings left to go. Donettes trying to hang on now after they scored 5 in the 5th. They lead 7-4. And they will have the top of the order up again. That's where we started last inning and scored 5 runs. Mashing, so far in the game, has struck out, singled, driven in a run, and she also reached on an error. And she scored 1 run. Actually, Mashing has 2 hits. She got a hit the last time up the middle, so she... That last inning, the Donettes had 5 hits instead of 4. She singled back up the middle last time. Well, the Donettes going to try to add to a 7-4 lead. Top of the 6th inning. Willow Springs does have that last at bat, so you try to pile on as many as you can to get a big a lead as you can. Sydney Miller's gone all the way for Willow Springs. She's back out there, and the pitch is popped up back over the dugout at first base side. So no balls and 1 strike to Mashing, leading off the 6th inning, just as she did in the 5th. The pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Puts her in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. You got to lay off that rise ball now. He chokes up a little bit. That's one. Donettes get 2 strikes. They choke up on that bat a little bit. Line drive over the first baseman's head. The second baseman gets it and flips it to the first baseman. Nice play there by the second baseman to be backing up.
Nice play, second.
And that's the first out here in the 6th inning. Brings up Lexi Day. She is 2 for 3. And she has scored a run. She also lined out to short. Pitch is up and away for a ball to Lexi Day. Paige Eddington on deck. Got 1 out in the 6th inning. Donettes lead Willow Springs 7-4 in the championship game of the Class 2 District 2 softball tournament. That pitch catches the corner. Evens the count at 1-1. They'd like to get on for Eddington. And a swing and a miss. Pitch up a little bit. Day couldn't catch up with it. Now she's in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strike. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch. A good pitch there by Sydney Miller. That ball was down and away. Probably would have been a strike even if she hadn't swung at it. And just about a perfect pitch on that outside corner. So we'll see. Paige is up again. She's walked 3 times. Has only seen 2 strikes and 3 at bats. She scored 2 runs. And she's up with 2 outs and nobody on. And a swing and a miss. That pitch was down and away a little bit. No balls and 1 strike. Next pitch is up a little bit high. It looks like she may be halfway trying to pitch to her this time. And then again, maybe not. 2 balls and 1 strike. Donettes with a 3-run lead. They got 6 more outs to get on Willow Springs, and they will be your district champ. I don't know if he called that.
All right, you're ready, Peg.
don't know if it's 3-1 or 2-2. 3-1. That ball outside. I couldn't tell what he called there. And she walks again. 4 times she has walked. And the last time they walked her, Kaylee Davis made them pay as she hit one off the left center field wall and drove in 3 runs, and that gave the Donette, they were down 4-2, and that gave them a 5-4 lead. And Donette scored a couple more, padded that to a 3-run lead. There's a fly ball out in center field. It's going to drop. Paige Eddington's going to go to third, and they're going to try to score, and she's going to score as the center fielder bobbled and bobbled and bobbled the ball. And Eddington scores all the way from first base as she was absolutely flying around the bases. And that would be a single and an error on the center fielder. She kept trying to pick it up, and she was looking up at the runner instead of looking down at the ball. Now Davis is now driven in. Well, she didn't get an RBI on that. That was an error on center fielder, but she got the hit that the run scored on. Well, that brings up Madison Eddington. She is 1 for 3, scored a run. And again, we got courtesy runner, I think. That is Olivia Kreutz, I think. Courtesy runner for Kaylee Davis, pitcher. First pitch to Madison was a ball. Next one is a line drive. Base hit. Kreutz is the third base over there, and she's safe. And then a good base runner by Madison Eddington as she goes on down to second. And the Donettes have really started hitting the ball here in the last couple of innings. And the Willow Springs coach is calling a timeout and going to go have a conference with the pitcher. So the Donettes have scored another run for this inning. And they've got 2 outs. And Audrey Holland is up. And Coach Eddington having a talk with her right now because she has really struggled at the plate. She's over, struck out 3 times. Right now would be a good time for her first hit of the game. The Donettes have added 1 this inning after scoring 5 last inning, and they now lead 8-4. And Olivia Kreutz is on third base, and Madison Eddington with a solid line drive base hit to right center field is at second, and she moved up to second on the throw to third. Well, it looks like coach is going to stick with Sydney Miller, and she does. The Donettes have really, even though 4 of the last 5 outs by the Donettes have been strikeouts, the in-betweens have been a lot of hard-hit balls. And I think I just felt a sprinkle. A little bit out up there. And there's a good strike back by Holland, and I did feel a sprinkle. I see a cloud up there, to tell you the truth. Get my scorebook wet. No balls and 1 strike on Holland. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Top of the 6th inning for the Donettes. And strike 2 called. She's in danger of striking out for the 4th time. Got to put the bat on the ball here. Make a play. And there it is! And there's going to be a fly ball to right. Oh, it's caught. Nice catch by the right fielder. But Holland got the bat on the ball that time. That's got to make her feel a little bit better. Donettes get another one on the board. They score 1 run on 2 base hits. And there was another error there by Willow Springs. And they leave 2 on base. The Donettes have left 2, 4, 6, 7 on base. But they lead 8-4. 6 outs to get. And it is starting to rain a little bit. Can't really see what it's raining much out of. But Kaylee settled down after that first. Gotten 3. And she has gotten, let's see, 4 strikeouts. Grace Ming. And umpire goes out to talk. He's being no. Has number 2. And she hits it the third line. Hannah Ponder. That is in the game of the line drives to Ponder. On the Donets. And they will be your district champs if they can get there. Pitch to side. Ball to short and a strikeout. And then they will be back to the top of the order. So Donet's going to have to go through their big hitters again. And there's a foul ball. Doing a really good job here. Really proud of her the way she has come back after that tough first inning. So digs back in with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the pitch is popped over the third baseman's head, just out of the reach of Paige Edison. That's 2 balls in the game that have just been over the reach of Ponder. She's also made some nice plays over there as well. She had no chance on that one, but well, that brings up the top of the order, so getting into some tough hitters here. Sydney Miller, she's 1 out of 3 and has scored a run. Pitch to Miller is a strike called on the outside corner. Crowd on both sides getting into it here. Willow Springs crowd trying to rally their team. Into center field, hit. Jalen Dutton with a nice play to keep it from getting by her. So that's 2 on and 1 out now for Willow Springs. And they are at their number 2 hitter, and she has roped 2 base hits between first and second. Krista Rader, she is 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And second baseman Madison Eddington has scooted over. And boy, she is really getting around on those pitches. She fouled that way out in front of her. 8-4. Willow Springs has got 2 on the Donet's lead, 8-4. 1 out in the 6th inning. And a changeup, I believe, there is foul back to the screen. But maybe Davis can get her to chase one now on 0-2. The Raiders proven to be a tough out so far today. Maybe looks like. Come down a little bit. And that pitch is the strike zone. That one a little too much out for her to chase. So big point in the game right here. Strike the Raider. Davis winds and the pitch. And she goes after it and misses it. And they're going to throw to third. Oh! Ball gets by the third baseman and they got a chance of get a run. The batter's out at first base because first base was occupied.
She's out. First base is occupied.
So that would be the second out on the strikeout. And they do get a run as Frederick scores to make it 8-5. And the runner ends up at third base, Miller. And that would be an error on Lexi Day. That's the first one. All confused. The runner on second base thought she had, but if first base is occupied, when the catcher drops the third striker, it's in the dirt, the batter's out. If it's unoccupied, the runner can run, and the runner can that brings Emily Scarborough, and she is 0 for 2 with a walk, scored a run. And the first pitch is a ball to her. So the lead for the Donettes is 3. And 2 outs in the bottom 5. That's actually, I think, the score they won by last night, 8-5. Runner on third, 2 outs. And Scarborough at the plate. And pop foul out of play. Davis back even in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. They probably shouldn't have scored that run, but Donettes have been error-free about the whole game. That pitch is high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
A lot of fun, Lex. A lot of fun, Lexi.
The tying run is on deck.
Big breath, kid, big breath.
It'll be a big out here because they'll be towards the bottom part of the lineup in the 7th. Another pop foul over on the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And several times here in the last couple innings, Davis has been able to get a strikeout out of the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third. And the pitch. And it's up high. So if this one gets on, the tying run will be at the plate, and it will be the catcher, Emily Fair, the cleanup hitter. And she doubled in the first 2 runs of the ball game. So it'd be good to get this batter and let her lead off the 7th inning with nobody on base. So big pitch here by Davis, and it's in the dirt, ball 4. So the tying run will be at the plate.
A lot of fun, Lexi. A lot of fun, Kaylee.
All he needs 1 out. If they can get out of this and get her out, and they have the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the 7th. So Scarborough draws the walk. She's on first, and Sydney Miller on third. Alexa Frederick has already scored this inning to cut the lead to 3. And there's 2 outs, and Fair steps in. Davis's first pitch is a strike called. It'll get a little nerve-wracking here for the Donettes fans. Tying run at the plate. But if you get her out, stand pretty good chance in the 7th. The pitch just inside to Emily Fair, the catcher. She's their cleanup hitter for the Willow Springs Lady Bears. She steps back in with a 1-1 count. Davis's pitch is inside again. Just missed with those 2 inside. Davis gets the sign, winds and fires, and it's in the dirt, ball 3. You don't really want to walk this one to put the tying run on first base because ball hitting the outfield, that grass might be just a little bit wet in the rain. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Runner on first will be off with a pitch, or should be, and a ground ball foul down the third baseline. So we'll do it again. I don't know if the runner took off there or not, but on 3-2 and 2 outs, the runner on first base should be going. Fair looks down to the coach for sign, but the 3-2 pitch And again, it's fouled down the third baseline. And she's proven to be a tough out, that's for sure. By my estimation, just seeing them play one game, Raider, the center fielder, and Fair, their catcher, are definitely their two best hitters, even though the Miller girl, the pitcher, has done pretty well too. So she's battling up there, and Davis trying to keep her off the base. And the pitch is line foul again down the third baseline. This one was hit very hard. They get the ball back in, and we'll do it again. That is 7 pitches. 7 pitches so far in this at bat for Emily Fair. 8-5 is the score. Tying run at the plate for Willow Springs, bottom of the 6th inning. Davis's pitch popped up down the right field line, out of play. Donettes are 4 outs away from the district championship. But this is the big one right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 8 pitches in this at bat by Emily Fair. Davis's pitch, ground ball back to the pitcher, and she throws to first in time. And that gets the Donettes out of this mess with only 1 run scoring in the inning. And the Donettes maintain a 3-run lead as Willow Springs gets 1 run on 2 base hits. And we have 1 error by the Donettes, and they left 2 men on base. That's the first error of the game by Doniphan. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8 men left on base, 8 people left on base for Willow Springs. Well, the Donettes, coming up in the 7th, would like to add a little insurance. Got the bottom 3 in the order coming up. They lead Willow Springs 8-5. This is trying to win a district championship. And as I said, I don't know that they've ever won a district championship before, as they haven't been playing softball all that many years here. But Coach Eddington has done a great job with these girls. And they had a tough game last night. And they fell behind last night and fell behind today. And they have continued to battle in both games. Well, they haven't won this one yet, but they won that one last night. They're in good shape to win this one here if they can just get 3 more outs. But before that, they'd like to score a few more runs and give Kaylee Davis a little more cushion if they can. The first batter will be Hannah Ponder, followed by Carly Hardy and Jalen Harder. And Sydney Miller still on the mound. She's went the distance, as Kaylee Davis has went the distance for the Donettes. Miller gets the sign from Fair, and a strike on the first pitch to Ponder. Ponder has had some fantastic at-bats tonight, and she's also 2 for 3 on the night. Miller's 0-1 pitch to Ponder is strike 2. So 2 quick strikes to Ponder. And when she's got 2 strikes earlier, she has battled and battled and battled, and she fouled another one off, just like she did the last at bat. She had 6, 7 pitches. The one before that, she had 6 pitches. And she is just, when she's gotten 2 strikes, she's just battled and battled and battled. And the 0-2 pitch again. It was a little bit high. Carly Harder waiting on deck for the Donettes. Ponder, right-handed batter. Gets the pitch and pops it up in the center field. Center fielder underneath it, and she makes the catch. That's the first out. That'll bring in Carly Harder. She is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And then Jalen Dutton will bat after Harder. That's the first out in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Harder is low. Harder wears number 20. She's the right fielder for the Donettes. And the next pitch is low, so 2 balls and no strikes. Donettes could use a base runner. Harder steps back in with a 2-ball, no strike count. We got 1 out, top of the 7th. And that's ball 3 low. Harder trying to reach base for the first time today or this evening. It's about to get dark on us here. The lights have been on for quite a while. And ball 4. 4 straight. That is, I think, other than the kind of intentional walks to Paige Eddington, I think that may be her first walk besides all the walks to Paige. And she has had good control. That'll bring up Jalen Dutton. And Jalen is a 1 for 3. And she steps in. Oh my goodness. Takes a very high pitch for a strike. He steps out and gets back in. Donette's trying to add to an 8-5 lead. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low and outside. The speedy Dutton at the plate. Center fielder for the Donettes. Got number 14 on that uniform back. And there's a ground ball to short. And it goes right through the shortstop leg. And I mean right through her legs. And the runner moves up to second base, Harder. And another error on Willow Springs as they just continue. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the 8th error. And the Donettes also have 1, 4, 9, 11 hits to go along with that. So they have had base runners all over the bases. And that brings up Timberly Mashing. And she hits a little pop up to the first baseman. And she comes in and catches it, and Dutton gets back to the base. So that's going to be the second out. And for about the 3rd time today, Lexi Day's up with 2 outs and a couple of runners on. So far, she is 2 for 4. And she pops it back out of play. Paige Eddington waiting on deck. Would like to get another try at it. Of course, they probably would just walk her again, but Paige has walked 4 times and she has scored 3 of those times. And the other time she was stranded on second base. So their walks to Paige hadn't really gone the way they planned, I don't think. Swing and a miss. And Day got 2 strikes on her. Bear down, hang in there with 2 strikes on you. Put the bat on the ball. 0-2 pitch, and she's called out on strikes. Well, that does it for the Donettes in the 7th. They leave a couple runners again. And no runs, no hits, 1 error and 2 left. And we are set for the bottom of the 7th. And the Donettes lead 8-5 over the Willow Springs Lady Bears, trying to bring home a district championship and move on to the state tournament. And Kaylee Davis has pitched 6 innings. She gave up 4 runs in the first inning, and since then, only 1, and that was in the last inning. And that run basically scored because of an error. And that was the first error, really clean defensive game by the Donettes today. That was the first error of the game. Let's see, Willow Springs has 3, 4, 5, 8 hits, 5 runs on 8 hits.
I believe in you, kid.
Davis has got 3 outs to get. He is waiting on Lexi Day to get her catcher's equipment on and get out there to take her warm-ups. And the stage will be set for the bottom of the 7th inning. And back after the first inning, I don't know how many people would have thought when the score was 4-0 Willow Springs that it would be 8-5 Donettes going into the bottom of the 7th, but that's where we are. Try to finish it off here with 3 outs. And Willow Springs will send up their 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Bella Melvin is 0 for 3. Caitlin Woody is, 0 for 2. She's hit by pitch. And Courtney Melvin is 0 for 2 and hit by pitch. Well, Melvin is the number 5 hitter. She's the first baseman. I'm sorry, she is 1 for 3. She got a single her last time up. She'll be a left-handed batter facing Kaylee Davis, who has really gutted this out from the 2nd inning on. And we are ready for play here in the 7th inning. Donettes holding an 8-5 lead over the Willow Springs Lady Bears. And the fans are really going to get loud this inning, I'm sure. First pitch. Oh! Well, that looked like a strike, and he called it a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Melvin. And this one is low. Davis don't want to put anybody on base. Want to make them hit their way on. Donettes have played solid defense all night. You make them hit the ball, you got a good chance of getting them out. And a pitch. And that was called a strike, and I think it may have been higher than the one that was the first pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davis back in the count now. We go right at her and try to get her out here, leading off the 7th inning. And there's a pop-up, and Madison Eddington makes the play. So a nice job by Kaylee Davis to come back after being down 2-0 in the count, to come back and get the leadoff hitter, Bella Melvin, leading off the 7th. Now the shortstop, Caitlin Woody, comes up. 0 for 2 and hit by a pitch. And the first pitch is a ball inside. They got to have 2 base runners to have a chance here. They just need to get outs. And the next pitch is a strike. I tell you what, that pitch just about handcuffed Lexi Day. That ball had some drop on it. It was high, but it dropped. Day almost, well, she had a hard time catching it because it dropped. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caitlin Woody stands in. The pitch popped up, and Paige Eddington makes the catch. 1 more, folks. 1 more, and the Donettes are your district champ. Day encouraging the crowd, and they all come to their feet. The Donettes fans 1 out away from the district championship. And the batter is Courtney Melvin, and she strikes. I hope you can hear. If not, you'll be able to see what's happening. Melvin is open and down in the count. And back over the screen. 1 strike.
I believe in you!
2 count. 1 more. Kate Davis lines, fires. Strike. The Donettes in the champs as Davis strikes out. The last hitter of the Donettes are your last 2 District 2 champs. 8-5 over the Willow Springs Bears. After 1 inning, 4-0. Battle back, winning 8-5 over Willow Springs. I'm going to take just a second here and total things up. We'll give that to you before we sign off, so bear with me for just a second. Okay, Willow Springs had 5 runs on 8 hits, and the Donettes had 1 error, and Willow Springs left 8 on base. we'll figure out the Donettes. We know they had 8 runs. They had 1, 4, 9, 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the winners of the district championship tonight, the Lady Bears from Willow Springs.
The Willow Springs gets second place in the district. The Donettes, for 8 runs, have 11 base hits and 8 errors by the Lady Bears. And the Donettes left 9 men on base.
And now,
Am I supposed to just sign off and get on? Okay. 8 runs on 11 hits, 8 errors, and 9 on base. And the Donettes their championship trophy. And I guess we'll try to get some information when they play and where. And you can just check the broadcasting. They'll have it time probably next Tuesday or Wednesday. And Doniphan District Champs 5 over the Willow Springs Bears. And I guess that's wrap things up. Appreciate everybody watching. For tournament.